Hello folks, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be learning how to do this. Oh yes folks, we're going to be doing how to do energy blast tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to create the electric waves and the blasts in 4 separate noise, and same setup with the iDistort. So let's get started. Alright, so I already have the setup here as usual, and the first part will be making the big blast. I call it the big blast, and it kind of looks like this. Like that. So I did 3 rotos. I draw 3 rotos. All of them looks like that. So they're not animated, they're just static. But I combined them and I animated them using the switch node, and it's a little bit of manual, just keyframe. If you go different frames, just randomly place the numbers 1, and then frame 10 is 2, so on and so forth. You could interchange the numbers, and once you play it on the timeline, it looks like this. And I gave it a little bit of filter erode just to thin it a little bit, and then I made a noise. I switched the type to turbulence. I animated the Z from frame 1 to frame 100, Z0 to Z5, and then I animated the transform translate X from 0, and then frame 100 to 10,000. So it goes pretty fast. Let me stream it so that you guys can see it. Right there. A little fast. And let me clear the cache so that I could save memory, because sometimes it crashes. From the noise, I grade it up. Same thing. Channels RGBA. Adjust the black point and the white point. I forgot to click white clamp. Always click this one. Black point is 0.04, white is 0.3, and then I use it as an alpha. I use it as a driver for my iDistort. So this guy right here, I set up a copy, and on the first channel it should be RGBA alpha to forward.u, and then I gave it an iDistort, and then I changed the UV channels to forward right there, and then I play around with the UV offset and the UV scale. Usually the scale 33. You could do whatever settings you want, and let's view it from here. So that's how it looks like. It gives you it roughens up the lines and gives it a really random distortion. And from there I copied this setup and pasted it over here, and I did a little bit of different setting. I think I animated this. Yes, I animated the noise differently from here. So I still animate the Z, but the transform I animated the Y. This guy right here, the transform is animated on the X, but this other transform, this other noise, the transform is going up on the Y. So it has different directions right there. So it has this super organic, super random movement and then I use it as an alpha to copy pre-mold a sky blue constant. Now we have that, and then added a glow, brightness 2, size 18.5, and then I blur plus it by itself. The first blur is size 38, the second blur is size 73, and I plus them, give it a nice soft glow. So if you jump on different frames, looks like a, you know, like a very organic beam. But we're not done yet, we still have a lot of things to do. And then from there we get the big blast. Let's jump to the edge blast. Let me unhook this one first so that you'll see. So if I merge the one that I created, the edge blast, I call it the edge blast right there. I mean this one right there. I'll show you how to create this guys right here, this thin. It's very similar to the big blast, except what I did was I just made a really straight roto line and I added a grid warp. I animated the grid warp on every 20 frames. So that's how it looks like. If you jump every 20 frames, it goes like this. And then I gave it a transform, change the angle, drag the center over here. You could drag it by pressing Control and left click. Say we have this one right here. You could press Control and left click. You could drag the center anywhere. Right there. So we have that, and then again I copied the ID stored settings over here. I select all of these guys and I copy it and I paste it over here, and I just change, you know, different numbers, different settings, just to make it, you know, random. You could play around with the settings if you want. And this is how it looks like. It's a little heavy because of the grid warp. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. So now it's moving really cool. And then I use it as an alpha to copy pre-mold the blue constant. And same thing, I added a glow and merge plus it. And from there, I gave it a little bit of color correct. Make it like saturated blue. And I gave it two kinds of transform. One is it's facing up and the other one is facing down. And I gave them two different time offsets. The other one is -3 and the other one is -4, so that they don't move the same. So if you merge them right here, I actually have three different thin electric blue lines that has different movements because of the time offsets. And then I gave them a transform just to position them in that spot right there. You don't have to do this, but you know, you could place it anywhere you want. And from there, let's create the background blast, which is this guy right there. That's how it looks like. So first I created the same thing, the noise. I just copied this one right here and over here. It's a little fast right there. it's going screen right from left to right. Goes really fast right there, super fast. Let me clear the cache again, and then I copy pre-mold it using a lighter constant, and then I corner pin it right there. Give it a nice perspective. Same thing as this guy, but this guy has a thicker line. I just adjust the X / Y size. This guy is around 160, while this guy is 6.4. And I merge them together. Kind of looks like this. So if you jump on every 10 frames, it's like a beam shining from left to right. And of course the distort settings, which is I just copied this guy and paste it over here like that. Again, you could do your own setting, and I gave it a multiply value of 0.3, and I gave it a glow, and I merge all of them together right there. I merge all of them, gave them a transform. After that, I made a base particle. The base particle, same thing, it's noise, but the XY size is very small, it's 6.4. I adjust a few settings of the gain and the gamma, and then I created this leaf-like rotoform and I mask it, give it a little blur. Size width is 290 and height is 50, and then I use it as an alpha to copy pre-mold a blue constant, so it kind of looks like this, and I transform it right there, and I gave it an ID stored setting. I just copied the ones that I have right there, just copy it and then paste it, gave it a glow, and I gave this other setting a time offset and a transform. So this guy and this guy are two different base particles that gives random movements because of the time offset. Give it a time offset of 1. You could change like -1 or 2 or 3, depends on how long your frames are. Make sure you have enough frames though, or else the animation will stop on a certain frame, which kind of looks weird. So when you merge all of this together, it kind of looks like that. We're going somewhere here. It looks okay, but there's still more things to do. And from there I glow up the very beginning of the energy blast, because from where it starts, usually it's the brightest value when an energy blast starts. I'm not really sure, but I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, and then we put a crop on it, and then because the file is getting heavier, I decided to pre-comp it. Just put a write node in it, render it as a targa with an RGBA. Make sure the red, green, blue, and alpha channels are on, and you could just copy this setting right here and render it as a targa with a compression none, and this is the pre-comp right here. If you play it, plays pretty fast. Looks really good already. The movement is nice. Maybe I could give it more random, but this is okay for now. And from there, I'm gonna explain the things that I did here, but let's jump. So we have the pre-comp blast right there. Let's go to the background. So I just downloaded an image from Google, and it's like an interior futuristic spaceship Give it a little bit of color correct with a blue, and then give it another color correct. Adjust the gamma on it, make it look darker. And so now I got the background, and let's jump on the cyborg. Well, I don't really have to do this guy right here, but just to make the tutorial look really cool, I decided to, you know, call this guy again. You know, he keeps popping up on my tutorial. I don't know why. This guy, oh my goodness. Yeah, but I gave him a really good roto. Well, not that good, but yeah, just for tutorial sake. And then I gave him a little bit of stencil just to take out the hands and the feet, because I'm gonna replace this guy with a robotic face, arms and legs. Give the guy a little bit of color correct with a gamma, just the contrast and saturation. And then I gave this guy robotic hands, just like that. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool hands right there. You know, I don't have to explain all of these things right here, what I did. It's just basic stuff like just roto and copy pre-mold and transform and rotate. And then added the guy a little bit of helmet, gave him robotic legs, robotic underwear, if there's such thing, you know, for lack of a better term. Gave the guy robotic shoes, and then gave a transform and a crop, a little bit of edge blur, a little bit of color correct right there, just to blend in with the background. Give it a little bit of defocus. And this guy right here is an interactive roto when the energy blast comes on. So when you merge it with the background, it kind of looks like this. It's a little dark, I know, but I intentionally made it dark because I want to focus on the energy blast. So now we have that. I made this interactive background light, so when the energy blast comes on, this interactive background light will affect the background, just to give it a little touch of, well, it's not going to be that realistic, but at least, you know, give it a little touch of that. So let's jump to frame 5, I believe, when his hands glow. The hand setting, well, this is just basic like roto and edge detection. Just give it a constant and a blur to demonstrate that's the hand. Edge detect. Filter erode on the right is size 3, on the left is -3, and then you stencil. You use the thicker, the size 3 filter erode as a stencil on the -3 erode. So that's what happens right there. You get a nice alpha with a constant. Give it a blur and multiply it and merge plus it. So that's what happens right there. Boom. And you just animate the glow. And when you merge it and give it a interactive background right there, the interactive background is the guy. It's just the background. Shuffle it on the green channel, give it a grade, click white clamp, black point 0.1, 0.8, and then multiply it. Give it a multiply, animate it a multiply so that it flickers. This one is a multiply flicker. And I put it a glow, and I merge plus it. Use this information, blur it out, and plus this guy right here. I plus it on top of where the character and the background merged, so that this interactive light will also influence the character. So this is where the character is at, and this is where all the merge pluses are happening. And let's jump back to the blast. Now what I did was I gave it a time warp so that I have a secondary energy blast that is a little bit slower, to give it more randomness and information. It's like a, you know, like a backup from the original, so that it mimics and it gives you that feeling where there's a lot of things going on at the back, but they're basically just one effect. So this guy right here, I gave it an animated mask where it starts from nothing and then it slowly goes like this, boom, right there. Same thing as the warp. And I gave the energy blast a corner pin, and this guy too, I gave it a corner pin, and I merged both of them with the character. Boom. See right there? Looks dope, eh? Energy blast. And then of course the merge plus, just to give it like a soft glow going on. And then the refinement layer, give it a little bit of blur and a multiply to make the core hotter, just brighter right there. This guy's right here, the refinement. If you A/B it, right there. And then gave it a little bit of camera shake, amplitude 20, frequency 0.7, and then I animate the switch from 1 to frame 5. So frame 1 is switch 0, and it goes frame 5, switch 1. And then I gave it a fake camera zoom. Use the transform node. Frame 1 is scale 1 and frame 100 is 1.1. And that's about it. Just like that. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things you could improve, you know, but this one is okay for now. And you could always improve it and give it more like particles that comes out. You could change the colors. You could even use a laser gun instead of a cyborg. And I also did a thumbnail for this guy. So I created the text energy blast, and I merged it on the background. I went to frame 91, and voila, got a thumbnail. So that's it, folks. So thank you very much for watching my tutorial, and hope you learn a thing or two. And don't forget to subscribe and share and like and give it a comment. And thank you, and see you soon. Bye.